Well, this day began as the teachers escalated their job action with secondary pickets at government operations this morning. They had the support of the BC Federation of Labour and the BCGEU, whose members would not cross the picket lines. But the province says the pickets are illegal, and it went to the Labour Relations Board to get an injunction. CTV Legislature reporter Stephen Andrew joins us now live at the Legislature with more. Now, Stephen, the minister was pretty clear the other day that the government would move quickly with a legislated end if the teachers broke the law. What happened?
Well, it seems that what's illegal and legal is different depending on who you talk to in government, Hudson. And certainly this is what had the Deputy Premier so upset this morning. The teachers' job action against the government began early.
This is not just a job action about money, it's a job action about working condition.
Setting up pickets around government buildings, teachers and other union members prevented employees from going to work. Among the buildings targeted, the Ministry of Health, where even union workers were surprised by the move.
We had a suspicion that, during times like this, unions often throw picket lines around other union facilities in solidarity.
The government sees the pickets as illegal.
To engage in what we believe is illegal activity and stopping public servants from doing their duty and serving the public and taxpayers is going too far, and we want that to stop.
To make sure teachers get the message, Falcon sought an injunction from the Labour Relations Board against the pickets. But after a promise by unions not to picket again, the LRB dismissed the government's application.
I am pissed off with what's going on with our government in this province.
The Deputy Premier isn't the only person sending a message. Thousands of union members joined Labour leaders to protest legislation to end the job action and impose a mediated settlement. The unions see Bill 22 as an end to collective bargaining.
We reject Bill 22 and we will fight and fight until we defeat Bill 22.
The government is convinced the legislation is fair, and it maintains it will not budge from its position. There is no more money for teachers or any public sector union for the next 3 years. On the question of whether the escalating job action will force the government to legislate the teachers back to work sooner than later, the Education Minister remains coy.
A government at any point can make a decision to ramp up or increase intensity. All of those things are possible. Whether they will or not will be an advised decision that we make in the hours and possibly days ahead, but perhaps in the hours ahead.
Are you scared of the teachers?
Hardly, no.
So that's the view from George Abbott. Hudson. Kevin Falcon putting out a statement a little earlier this evening saying that although the LRB has decided to put the decision in abeyance on those pickets, certainly if the teachers move again to do any picketing across the province, that they are going to go back to the Labour Relations Board and move quickly. Now, whether that legislation will make it through the House quickly is all dependent on whether the government can invoke closure and whether it can get the cooperation of the NDP. So far, that hasn't happened. And caucus is meeting tonight. I can see from my point here that Christy Clark meeting with her advisors right now, and I hear it's going to be a bit of a long night for them.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, parents should expect classes to resume Thursday.
They certainly will, Hudson, yes.
All right. Stephen, thank you.
You're welcome.